If you're moving to Da Nang, you're going to need to know what to do about medical care if something goes wrong. So I want to give you a general overview of healthcare in Vietnam. I recently had some blood work done, so I want to walk you through that process, exactly how I did it. I'll talk about general prices, some of the hospitals that are available here in Da Nang. I've spent more time than I would like in a few different hospitals here, so I know my way around a bit. If you don't know me, my name is Travis. I've lived in Vietnam for 7 years. I help foreigners that want to move to Da Nang. I absolutely love living here. My goal is to make it as stress-free as possible for people leaving Western countries for whatever reason that want to come experience what life in Vietnam is like. I know most people just want to know, when I get sick, what hospital do I go to? Is it expensive? How long does it take? How does everything work? I'm going to get into all that. But I want to start with the blood test. No matter who you are, what age, how healthy you are, it's a good idea to get blood tests once or twice a year at least. The problem is, in Western countries, getting a few simple blood tests could cost you hundreds of dollars. But here in Vietnam, it's very simple, very convenient. Prices are ridiculously cheap compared to Western countries. So I'm using blood tests as an example here, but this is true for pretty much all healthcare services in Vietnam. You can expect everything to be pretty efficient, very reasonably priced for whatever you're doing. So the best spot in town for the blood work is a spot called Medilab. This is not a hospital, it's a simple clinic just for blood labs. They have pretty much any test you can imagine, and you can choose whatever you want to get tested. So when you walk in, they're going to give you a form and you get to choose all the individual tests that you want to do. I know most people wouldn't even know where to start with this, and that's okay. I didn't know what to do either. So I downloaded the form beforehand. I'll link the website so you can get the form yourself. I just uploaded this into ChatGPT, and then I give it my basic information. I'm a 38-year-old male. I just want to check my nutrients, my hormones, make sure my testosterone's where it needs to be, blah, 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 blah. ChatGPT will then break down every test, what it's looking for, why it might be relevant to you, and then you can choose what you want to get tested. Each test has its own price. So one test might be $1, a different test might be $6, depending on what it is. So your total cost depends on how many different tests you want to get done. So this last time I went real broad. I got just about anything that might be slightly relevant to me. The total cost was about 3 million, so about 110 USD maybe. I've done it another time in the past where I got a lot of important stuff done and it was only about 1 million or 40 USD. So it just depends on how deep you want to go. So I would recommend figuring out what you want to get tested beforehand. Either print out the form or at least write down the test so you can just show up. You don't have to think about it too much once you get there. After you choose what you want to get tested, they're going to draw your blood. No problem, it takes 2 minutes. You don't need an appointment. You can show up and you're in and out in 30 minutes. They're gonna email you the results a day or two later. So that covers the blood test. If you have any questions at all about this, my email is gonna be down in the description. You can send me a message if you need to. If you are planning on moving to Da Nang, check out my travel community here. It's called the Da Nang Social Club. There's detailed guides on everything that you're gonna hear me talking about in these videos. We have a great group of people. There's more than 500 people that are living in Da Nang right now. Everyone is friendly. You can ask questions about anything you want. We do a big group meetup every single month. It's easy to meet interesting people from all over the world. I'm gonna have the link down in the description so you can have a look at that. Now let's get into hospitals. I'm gonna be very direct, straight to the point here. There's 3 hospitals I wanna mention, 2 in Da Nang and 1 in Hoi An, in case you're staying closer towards Hoi An. So the first hospital is called VinMec. This is the highest quality, most professional hospital. This place is just as nice, if not nicer, than any hospital in America or any other Western countries. International standards. It's the best quality, so it's obviously the highest price. The second hospital I'm going to talk about is a lot cheaper, but it's also very high quality. So because of that, I would say VinMec for anything very serious. If you need some type of surgery, if you're in bad shape and you're not concerned about price, you just want the highest care possible, then you would go to VinMec. The website's really good. They list a lot of prices on there. It's easy to make an appointment. You can make an appointment probably the same day, and if not, definitely the next day for a lot of things. So VinMec, very good option. The second hospital is called Family Hospital. This is where I go for a lot of the little things. You're sick, you're not feeling great, you just want to go see a doctor, get some medicine. There's an international unit. You can just show up. You'll be seen in probably 20 minutes, 30 minutes if it's busy. You can also message them ahead of time and make an appointment for the next day. So just for an example, let's say you're not feeling great, you just want to see the doctor. You can show up, the doctor visit, maybe he gives you some medicine that you're going to grab from the pharmacy. That entire experience might cost you about $1 million or 40 USD. I'll talk about a situation that I had. It's a little bit embarrassing, but a while back, I was eating barbecue ribs, like American style big ribs, and I choke on a big piece of meat. So this meat is stuck in my throat. I can still breathe. I'm not choking. It's just stuck here and it won't go all the way down. So after hours of this in misery, I go, I have to go to the hospital. God damn it. So I show up, immediately they take me in. I guess you wouldn't call it a surgery, more of a procedure. But I had to get anesthesia. They put me to sleep. They do the tube down the throat and pull out this big chunk of meat. That entire experience was about $3 million. So a little bit over $100 to save your life. Here you go. Thank you very much. See you next time. So Family Hospital is my go-to for all the basic stuff. You know, unless you're dying, something life-threatening, something very serious, then go to VinMec. Everything else, go to Family Hospital. Now I want to mention one more hospital. This one is close to Hoi An. It's called Vinh Duc Hospital. And I had another situation. I was playing rugby in Hoi An and I broke my face during a game. So this hospital, Vinh Duc, was only a couple minutes from the field. So they took me in an ambulance to this hospital. They did x-rays. They wanted to do a surgery right away. So this is a situation where if I was in Da Nang, I would have gone to VinMec for this because it's a serious, gotta get surgery on my face, obviously very important. But because I was in Hoi An, I went to Vinh Duc Hospital. But that hospital was also great. Surgery went well. That entire ordeal, ambulance ride, emergency room, x-rays, surgery, I ended up staying for 4 nights in the hospital because they wanted to give me antibiotic IVs and keep an eye on me. Everything, the total price was about 1,200 USD. If that happens to me in America without health insurance, that's gonna financially ruin me for decades. So I'm very thankful. So the prices here, obviously a lot more reasonable. Now, just an example, that situation that cost me $1,200 at Vinh Duc in Hoi An, if I were to do that at VinMec, it probably would have been more like $5,000. So 3 or 4 times more expensive than the other hospitals, but still a fraction of what it would be in Western countries. The 2 hospitals that I talked about in Da Nang, they're both in the city, pretty close to the airport, near the center of town. So no matter where you're living in Da Nang, you wouldn't be more than a 10 or 15-minute drive away. So the key points that you need to know about healthcare in Vietnam. There's high quality hospitals available. The prices are very reasonable. It's very easy to get seen. You can make appointments probably for the next day. So that's about everything I got about healthcare. I've probably missed some details. Again, if you have any questions, send me a message. I'm going to talk about dental work in a different video. I know a lot of people are interested in that. Subscribe to the channel, check out the Da Nang Social Club. If you're living in Vietnam long term, you're going to have to do visa border runs every 90 days. So if you want to know the fastest way to get that done, you can watch this video over here. See you over there.